let's go into this, guys. We start to the bottom left-hand side with the red Zerg player from Team Liquid. It's Snute. To the upper right-hand side, the blue Zerg from Euronics Gaming, Nerchio. Yeah, guys, the third map didn't matter much for Innovation. You only need one win to get the group, and again, you know, these players, a lot of them sometimes, I mean, you know, they'll stay and play if they feel like they can, but the reality is, like, you guys are like, oh my god, Innovation typed out so quickly. He literally was going to have 4 gateway units plus a warp in of 3 gateway units. He's going to have 7 gate units in his main base before he even has a marine in there. Like, and then he only has 4 marines and a cyclo. Like, it's not really enough to fight with. So I know what you're saying. I know it looked like he typed out earlier. Maybe he did. Maybe he could have tried to play it out, but still, I can kind of understand. Why. Pauli 9333. Thank you very much, by the way, for the cheer 40 you came in with during that break. Do appreciate. Thank you very much. Not a single late game today. Yeah, it's been kind of very early and mid-game focus today. It really has been. We've seen 1 or 2 longer games. Games have still been pretty awesome though. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying. Who's advancing in Group A? So Group A tiebreakers will be played on the round of 8 day. They're going to be played just before the quarterfinals. So we won't actually know who advances out of Group A until quarterfinal day. So obviously it's a very weird scenario to have the fact that the underdog Optimus took a map of each of Gumiho, Hero, and Su, and then they traded with each other 2-1, 2-1, 2-1 in like a triangle. It's kind of interesting. So it is caught in a freeway tie, and it is going to be played out the day of the round of 8, an hour and a half or so earlier. We should be able to cast it live. It's going to start an hour and a half early. We'll try and cast it live if possible, and bring you guys some games. So that's going to be on again just before the round of 8 on Wednesday. Again, unfortunately, we won't know until then which of those players do advance. But it's okay. It's obviously just something I didn't really take fully into account. It's funny because people say round robins end up in tiebreakers like this all the time, but actually, it's kind of funny because as by the way, this game hatch gas pool from both. It's kind of funny because I really kind of find it that I kind of find like we've casted so many late Fang Cups, SGL Cups, WardiTV season finals. We almost never have a scenario where we actually have a tiebreaker that actually has to have extra matches played to deal with it, which is pretty crazy. Anyways, this is Eastwatch, and again, an interesting map because of the way that the majority of the middle is kind of on a single level. So I want to try and find the maps here of these Zerglings fight. I just wanted to remember who this one was by. Eastwatch by Ezel, of course. Yeah, this map by Ezel. So kind of interesting as you see both players just going up to 3 bases early. Snute's actually making a heck of a lot more Zerglings than Nerchio right now, as Nerchio starts with a big round of drones. Bane's finishing up as well from Snute, so really looking to take this into some kind of aggressive posture in the next few moments, as he will be able to take his way through those Zerglings. The Zerglings going down as we're going to be seeing these wings of Snute just coming forwards, and it's going to be working their way through the watchtower, through the rock tower, I suppose. And again, this is the interesting part about this map. We haven't really seen it yet, where taking the rocks down can really change the way the game plays. And this is Snute going to be... That's me. It's going to be Snute showing us here, basically, in the next few moments. So those rocks go down. Snute going to be, again, pressuring in towards now Nerchio's third base, but Nerchio will have to find a way to deflect. But he's also going to have to deal with the banelings. So he's going to be forced into quite a lot of Zerglings to deal with that. And that was what is obviously Snute's hoping to try. Oh, actually, Nerchio does have a Baneling Nest. Well, call me corrected, because I didn't realize Nerchio had a Baneling Nest to play with. So it's a bit interesting. Well, Snute going to cancel one of those Banes that's morphing, though, and so you can actually keep on keeping a lot of pressure towards this third. Another Baneling going to get cancelled too. And Snute starting to get into a very good position with this. 2 Banes are looking for Lings, but he's going to kill the third base. And remember, guys, all these players have to do is win this series. The winner of this series, whoever gets the 2-1 or the 3-0, goes to the round of 8. And those Lings and Banes continue to look around, see what else they can get up to. Lings all over the place right now. As we're going to be seeing the Bane doesn't quite find that connection there in the main that he was maybe just looking for. Going to try and grab a drone or two. The Bane's now coming in from Nerchio. He's going to drop a Spire, but in front of Snute's face, Snute sees that, and so he knows it's a Spire very early. And he's already building up money to build 8 roaches and probably a big wave of potentially lings after this. Does he actually get aggressive? He's making some roaches right now. He throws down double evil, which doesn't suggest aggression though. See how this continues. As we do have the lings continue to come over to the bottom left hand side, so I think he's going to come on over here. You see a Bane just going down. So just make sure you can defend. Again, that's why the roach is on the way out, but they're not here yet. This queen already surrounded. Snute cannot lose this hatchery. Well, I mean, he can, but it will really give away the advantage which he's built up here in the last few moments. Because again, Ling's dealing some damage. There's the Bane's coming in, and the roaches going to soak them up. Get rid of them before they can do much more. Now Bane's going to go in towards the natural mineral line, though. 1, 2, and 3, and Snoot's going to have to try and split away, but the damage, oh, the splits are good enough. Only loses 5 workers, keeps the worker count fairly even. And now we're in a situation where it's Aspire about to finish from Nerchio. He's about to make a bunch of mutas, but maybe he's just slowed Snute down enough to be able to stop him from getting a counterattack going on this side of the map. Thank you very much, OC Grimbergen, coming in for the sub. Thank you so much for the subscription, do appreciate. Thank you for supporting the channel. Only 19 subscriber points away from a brand new sub emote, guys. How hype is that? How hype is that? Thank you so much for subscribing, do appreciate it, and thank you for joining the family. I feel as though you've been subscribed before, unless again you're made mixed up with someone. Thank you nonetheless. Anyways, the roaches come over here. Nerchio does have the first mutas on the map, and again, those mutalists are going to be able to come in and be able to work their way through those roaches, so they'll be able to try and get this done. Ling's going to run on in as well, and we are just going to be seeing the Ling's getting a little bit of a surround. The mutas coming in too. They'll be able to work their way through a couple of those roaches. Some roaches going down right here. And 4th roach. 5th roach and 6th roach, not really going to do much at all. Snute though is already up on 60 workers, +1/+1 on the way for him. What is this picture in the middle? You know, I really do not appreciate the fact that the production tab is skins pictures. But the mutalist picture in the production tab looks nothing like a mutalist. I really can't. It's the one thing I don't like about skins. Don't bother, no, nothing else bothers me about them, apart from the fact it's so impossible to see what's in the production tab sometimes. It's so silly. Queens, Lings, and Banes gather together from Snute here, going to be getting ready to go. I'm just going to be seeing the few meters again overhead for Nerchio. Having to think about how he wants to approach this here. +1 fly attack on the way. Lurker Den on the way down, by the way. Nerchio set up into that Hydro Den to go straight into that here off the meters. Obviously the idea being he can hope to buy time for the meters for long enough to then set up into the Lurkers, which gives him a very powerful position to play with. Move into the later stages. Mass Queen currently for Snute. Small overlords as he hits the lair. And for Lair and Mass Queen, you might just go for the infestation route of trying to deal with this rather than the Hydralisks. Let's see what happens. We're going to be seeing those meters going to be gathering back up and go back up towards the top here. Feeling is already going to be taking some damage. A couple of things getting taken down right away, actually. Snute trying to counter-attack here as the Banes come in. Again, he's not going to find much to really be able to do. Going into both the Hydro Den and Infestation, but actually he's just going to opt for both here. As really this game, anyone's for the takings at the moment. Snute and Nerchio playing very different styles, and both of them doing what they need to do with these player styles. As the Hydro's Den wraps up here, those mutas trying to poke forward to the front. I was trying to shut down some crew thread. Big counter attack though actually from Snute right now. First couple of Banes will start to go off. There is actually a carapace upgrade for Snute in the game already, whereas there isn't in play just yet for Nerchio, and that will help a lot in a lot of these Ling fights, Ling Bane fights. Obviously soaking up an extra Bane shot every now and then. I love that Snute sends a bunch of Lings over here to deny the gold base from coming up. It's something he doesn't want to have happen because he can't take his own gold base because of the lack of mobility towards it, and because of the fact that those mutas are obviously very agile in the skies and will be able to dodge and, you know, dive their way towards that third base, that gold base. He's going to come in, wrapping around, force around on those Zerglings, and just going to be seeing the mutas of Nerchio. Going to be pushing back forwards into the center once again. Still some Lings of Snute here moving around, seeing where he can go. Mutas, not sure where they want to go either just yet, apparently. A hive on the way up from Nerchio too. This hatch still kind of low on health, and we're just going to be seeing the Hydras from Nerchio coming in to help defend this. Obviously really wants to set this gold base up. Of course, if there was ever a ZvZ that was going to go kind of even between the players, it's probably going to be between Nerchio and Snute. They are the kind of players that will play into a very much later game scenario, I guess. Those mutas just going to kind of come back around come back through the center and see what's going to happen. Hive on the way up from Nerchio, getting set up and ready to roll. Cryptumor gets taken down. +2/+2 upgrades on the way from Nerchio. He's playing melee upgrades, by the way. He's taking on that kind of Lingbane kind of composition on the ground. But of course, with the high finishing, as I say, the Ultra Cavern is the natural choice with those melee upgrades. So again, we're going to see some very different plays here. From each of these players, we're going to see Snute doesn't actually have the detection he needs to get rid of these lurkers. He knocks down these rocks in the center, even killing the Hydra in the process. Lurker's going to unburrow, and Snute taking his own gold base to the south side now. The meter's still around here and still going to be looking for those opportunities. Snute never made those infestors that we were talking about. He didn't go infestation pit, but basically using it for his own hive tech. And what does he go into? Does he try and go in towards... But he doesn't go into towards Greater Spire, right? Because he didn't make a Spire even. So what does he do with the hive? +3 missiles and Carapace could be something you could go for, but what else? What are the other options here? Queen's going to work their way through the meters once again. Meanwhile, big counter attack down to Snoot's gold, and the damage that Snute did up towards Nerchio's gold. Now Nerchio are going to get some revenge. Just some changelings left up there. Again, a lot of those lings cleaned out though, and Nerchio actually drops quite heavily on supply. If Snute can get a counterattack, if he can get across the map and deal some damage, he will, well, if he gets in a position where he could deal damage, he will deal a lot of damage, I think. 170 supply to the 150. You see Nerchio now, there were Vipers on the way out. I'm not actually sure what the Vipers are designed to do here, because I guess deal with Snoot's lurkers, abduct those forwards and take those out of the game, and obviously Snute doesn't have the same sort of setup to deal with his opponent's lurkers. Just continuing back up towards the upper right side, and again, Queens continue to set up creep tumors in the center. Continue to build up here and push on forwards. Lurkers, the reason actually that Nerchio needs to worry about lurkers, that lurkers are actually very good at dealing with the, lurkers are very good at dealing with the ultras as they run forwards. So that's something you have to be very careful of. Here's Nerchio coming out, looking around, thinking about where he can maybe go. A couple of spines are going to go down in that gold base mineral line. And the meters come forward. So he'll get rid of... there's an overseer, right? So he'll be able to get rid of one lurker at least. Fight over here is going to go very heavily into Snoot's favor, but a lot of roaches. And that might pull the meters back. Right now, they're actually still pushing in towards the natural and then towards the main. Lots of Queens still around with lots of energy. These lings not making any progress either. Snoot's also stationary to the right-hand side of the map. Do get an overlord pickup right there, and again these Queens helping to push this away. Some lurkers here again. Squawk will get a shot or two. Snute makes his way through these rocks. There's nothing to defend this base, and these ultras, they're very kiteable at the moment. You know, if this Roach Ravager force actually attacked, I feel as though the ultras wouldn't really stand a chance, but Snute giving Nerchio the benefit of the doubt and does just back away. A lot of respect between these two players right now. And, ooh, lurkers though hitting mineral lines. All of a sudden, Snute taking some heavy income damage. 14 workers down. He cleans up 3 lurkers though for it. Nerchio obviously not too interested in keeping his own lurkers in the game, going into his own 6 ultras. Snute eventually gets in towards the Spire, and his transition in towards the Broodlords will begin to take place over the next few minutes. Greater Spire will be looking to come on up, and obviously at the moment, there's not a lot of kind of anti-air here in the game for Nerchio. He's got a Hydra down, but he never built muscular organs. Actually, neither did Snute. How interesting that is. But yeah, making a hydrogen but never building muscular organs. He's got obviously the Spider of his own, but if he gets caught off guard, he might not have the money or the supply available to actually do that. By the way, right now Nerchio's army way smaller because he's got 80 drones to 48. But it does mean he'll build a much larger bank, which means it's important he takes the fights on Snoot's side of the map rather than Snute taking fights on Nerchio's side of the map. Because if Snute takes the fight on Nerchio's side of the map, Nerchio will not be able to put his bank to use and rebuild. But if Snute is going to fight on his own side of the map, then to be able to counterattack after he wins a fight with the larger army supply, it will take time, and it gives Nerchio the time to get the reinforcements coming up. Snoot's still just sort of sitting here. Obviously, the longer Snute sits, the better it is for Nerchio, building up the bank. Or just clean up creeping a Spore Crawler towards the front. So we're just pushing forwards here, and we'll start to do a little bit against these ultras. In fact, Sondri quite a lot, and this is what I mean, like these ultras on their own, they're going to get kited, and that's why I don't really understand about the game plan here of Nerchio, because these ultras against the Mass Roach just aren't immediately going to be doing that much at all. Queen's now spreading out among the bases. We see the final meters are going to be going down. There's the Infestors on the way. I think that's what we really need to see, maybe even a little bit sooner. Rock's getting knocked down as well. You guys said we hadn't had many macro games today. Well, here is a macro game. And look at this, Snute, with knocking down those rocks, actually shuts off the entire side of Nerchio's map from the center. Going to be seeing the Lings running in. We're going to be seeing 5, 6, 7 workers going down. Spine crawlers will be poking away, continue making their way through those Zerglings. So again, good damage being dealt. This side is going to continue to push through. Last couple of Zerglings going down as well. Still some ultras to the right hand side trying to do just a little bit more. But yeah, I'm not sure how well the ultras will continue to trade unless these infestors are going to get some really, really good fungals. Resources lost is 9.8k to 12.2k in favor of Snute right now. And we've seen this wall of spine crawlers coming on down here from Nerchio. Again, Atron's picked off. Roaches, Ravagers, Hydras. The Lurkers too continue to move around. Something getting popped just then. And again, just waiting to see what else is going to happen. Overlord spreading themselves out. The melee upgrade coming through from Snute also. Starting to make his own switch into those melee upgrades. Has to happen at some stage of the game. Nerchio going to take both corner expansions right here, including... including Snute's, I suppose. If Snute's gold base or base is down here, then obviously this base up there kind of becomes his. Snute's cleaned out these rocks, which were blocking entrance towards this base, which is going to make this base kind of an interesting one. It kind of has its own little area just to sit in, which is kind of cool. I see the Overseer starting to come on up here from Nerchio as well, so... And set up, ready to go again. Ultras and Infestors gathering together. Over towards the right hand side. And again, lots of Zerglings coming through the center of the map. Seeing where they can go, seeing what they can do. Roaches, Hydras, and Ravagers going to come in, and they are going to be able to pick away at those Zerglings. So Zerglings taking a little bit of damage as well. Go all the way down. At the same time, a big fight taking place. Nerchio pushing in towards the right hand side. Soon trying to pull back with some more of his lurkers and trying to get them reburrowed here, but well, he has just so much of his army out of position. The result is going to again just back away at a moment's notice. Blinding Clouds will force Snute to back away as well. And that's the sort of thing which Nerchio is looking for. Nice fungal growth, but it doesn't actually have the ultras pushing into it at the same time to actually take advantage of those stationary units. I think that was both of his fungals now used here. Snute. Supply dropping rapidly. Remember that Snute's income was way lower for a long time because he was only on 30-40 workers compared to his opponent's economy. And so Nerchio can stay maxed very easily. However, is there a long-term answer to the Broodlords? I'm not sure if there is. His last couple of ultras on the way, and obviously Nerchio will see these Broodlords, so he knows what's coming. He knows they're going to be coming in play in a moment or so. These couple of ultras going down. Again, Nerchio can afford to trade off some units. Army supply still 142 to 114 for Snute. Might even be time for Nerchio to throw away some drones just so he can get up a bit more of an army. I love the spores on the way, stack defense, and obviously with the Vipers in play, he can abduct those Broodlords forwards. He can abduct those Broodlords forwards. 11 more spores on the way up right now. More drones coming through as well. And that's going to be Seedlings and Ultras of Nerchio continue to come through the top side here. Corruptors on the way to help out. Snute though, when he gets into Broods, that's the game, that's the late game Snute wants to play. It's the late game that Snute's so experienced with in all matchups. Even ZvZ, he'll have played this sort of style in ZvZ so many times before, probably more than anyone else in the world. I actually remember casting earlier this year an OSC Masters Cup where Snute and Nerchio played a 45-minute game. It was actually on Daybreak, I think, so it must have been making a bit more than a year ago. About a year ago, perhaps. Whenever we had the Dream Pool last or something. Anyways, it was on Daybreak. It was like a 45-minute game. It was really kind of crazy. We're going to see a fight over here. Snute going to fight lots of Blind Clouds. Those Blind Clouds make life really difficult for Snute. And actually, Nerchio might just be able to break through this army. Where even are the Broodlords? They were dealing with this army over here initially. And that's the issue. The Ultras are so much more mobile than the Broodlords. It really forces Snute to sit back and wait and defend. As Nerchio are getting further and further ahead right now. In game number 1, remember, 2 games will win you the spot in the round of 8 in this event. So just setting up into this, seeing what's going to happen. More Lings, of course, from Nerchio. I think this game very much is under his own control at this stage. And it seems that he's very much so got things kind of set on up. Spinecrawl's going to come in the center. Still just waiting to see kind of other bits and pieces that are going on. +3 flyer attack coming on in here from Nerchio. A couple of corruptors on the way out from Snute too. We're going to see another fight to the right hand side. Parasitic bomb on the Broodlords, abducts forwards as well into the corruptors. And that is just Snute's army disappearing. Nerchio is going to take game number 1 of this best of 3. Support the channel is by subscribing. It's September, which means you get half price off all new subscriptions. And we do give away replay packs as well. 350 replays available in that August and 1st September replay pack. And of course, we'll get a replay pack of all of these games that have been played today, yesterday, all the Team Liquid Map Contest games. That'll be coming out on Friday, so look forward to that as well, if you're subbed. Setting up into game number 2 of the series to the bottom right hand side, the red Zerg player, guys. It is from Team Liquid, Snute. Down by 1, has to win 2 in a row to move to the quarterfinals of this event. On the upper left hand side, the blue Zerg player from Euronics Gaming is Nerchio. So again, just setting up, getting ready to roll as we have a few more Zerglings on the way, a couple more Queens on either side. Again, just setting in towards this. Wait to see how things will go over the next few moments. Hatch gas pool was the opening. I mean, it's a very large map, Backwater, mapped by Avex. Very, very large map. Bases all around the edges, which leaves a lot of open space around the center, which kind of creates some interesting dynamics. We saw a really cool TVZ on this map by ZvZ and Gumiho, so I'm intrigued to see what happens when you put the ZvZ on it. Especially when you just played Eastwatch and it was already a longer game. And just to see how they do it this time around then instead. Bayness on the way up from both at the moment. So something's just moving across, sorry for the lack of sound there for one of you guys, just sending a reply to someone quick about something. Okay, maybe just asking about getting the replays for the event to cast in French at some point. Some Bane's gonna waddle on forwards here from Snute, looking to see what's happening. And again, Ling's just gonna grab themselves a drone. Snute looking to do some damage as Bane's actually in a dangerous position, getting up this ramp. He's gonna start kicking off here as Snute. And the last couple of Banes don't do a lot, he's just going to turn around and leave with those Zerglings. So backing away with all of these Zerglings. Coming right through the center, and again that third hatch is up here to the right hand side from Nerchio, from Snute. He set that up behind this, so that's a really nice. Snute getting away with the third hatch already. It's another couple of Banes up, getting ready to defend against Nerchio's counter-attack. Worker count staying very similar between the two players at the moment. We've seen the extractor coming through again. Another Rotron on the way up, and again, Lings and Banes getting pushed away. One more Bane here looking to see what it can do as well. A couple of Banes want to try and come on over. We've seen some Lings running in. So a little bit of a hectic defense right now. Snute will defend over in his natural expansion and in his main base too. Actually, very nice defense by Snute, although he's been kept behind on only 29 workers. Going to catch up now, 11 drones in the production tab. Roach on the way from both, but Snute is just a little bit faster. So Roach is on the way up, that transition coming into play. It's actually a very safe base, safe map to kind of get your free bases up on, because there's no real entry to this space at all without coming through the natural, so it's a super easy to take free base. There is this sort of little drop down, lift up path, but obviously that was only really effective for Reapers. Interesting enough, Nerchio is going to push out for his third hatchery in the forward location, a bit more in the pocket expansion. That is kind of intriguing to see. +1 missiles starting from Snute as well. Now Nerchio's just got a lot of money. I was going to say, when you don't see a Roach, when you see a Roach, but you don't see the Evo Chamber, well, you got to start asking yourself, what is it going to be? How many Roaches are about to be built? And so Nerchio going into a ton of Roaches right now to set up into a big attack across the map here in a few moments' time. The Lings right now of Snute just continue to move around. The Lings and Nerchio as well, looking to see what else they can get up to. 10 roaches on the way from Snute though, so he's got to set up defensively. Remember, if Snute defends this, well, he does have the missile upgrade of his own coming through. He will take that advantage. Actually defends his Baneling right now. Everything he can keep alive at the moment is super important. Bane goes down. Again, lots of roaches moving across the map here from Nerchio. Can Snute hang on? Can he hold on to this? He's got Banes coming up as well defensively. He's got more and more roaches of his own. It's a long map, remember, so reinforcements take a while to come over, but Snute defensively will have those reinforcements almost instantly. He's going to be defending on his natural, which means the third and main reinforcements will come in both relatively quickly as well. And here we go. The initial Banes will be looking for some splash damage onto roaches to really make Snute's life a bit more difficult, make it easier for Nerchio to just bust through these. Doesn't look as though it's going to happen though. Snute is already trading well. The Queen's joining in the fight. One turns around to inject, but looks as though Nerchio's going to get pushed all the way back through the center. And these Queens back to work on this Overlord. Overlord is going to go down. Corrosive Bile hits another Overlord there as well, and we're still just going to be seeing the roaches pushing through the center of the map. With Corrosive Bile coming down. Half health Overlord now, and again we're just going to be seeing, well, the game continuing on. Snute actually cancelled his +1 upgrade. Sorry, I didn't realize that. He cancelled his +1 upgrade to be able to survive the attack. Rebuilds it now, but it is one of the advantages he would have had originally from holding on that has now disappeared. He'll start to take the lead on it once again. I get the feeling that Nerchio might not want to play roaches anyways. He might be trying to look towards a Spire here perhaps. He's only on 3 gases though, so Spire wouldn't immediately kind of pop to mind, I guess. It's just the fact he doesn't have like an Evo chamber or anything. He's actually just making another round of units. He's not droning up, so maybe just the Spire, the Lara way to go into roach speed or another transition out of this. But realistically, I think Nerchio's just going to try and attack again. Snute, so often he over drones after holding an attack and he dies to the follow up or something. But this time, he's been making units. He's just making some more overlords right now to get out of supply blocks. And when he's away from those, there'll be more and more units once again. And Snute again doesn't have that upgrade yet, but it's got it halfway done. So again, it's just about holding on, it's just about buying time. But the Corrosive Biles initially, Snute going to start kiting backwards against those Zerglings. We're just going to try and get the wrap around. Snute's going to sit in a few Corrosive Biles, which is going to hurt as well. 7 more roaches on the way up again, pulling backwards further into his mineralized roaches, starting to reinforce in multiple directions. Has to back away from those Corrosive Biles, has a Bile or 2 of his own. Banelin's doing a lot of damage and bringing a lot of Snute's army low on health, but it doesn't seem as though it's really going to be enough overall. Snute's holding the army supply advantage. This time he doesn't cancel his +1 upgrade, and he does manage to push Nerchio back. And as expected, these 2 top-tier European Zerg players are looking as though they might be heading in towards a 3rd game. Well, we're going to go into a 3rd game no matter what, but a 3rd game with everything on the line in terms of staying alive in this tournament. Something still sat in towards the upper left-hand side, and Overlord up here being poked away at by that Queen as well. Some good damage being dealt. Roach speed on the way up from both players, and again, it's a huge chunk of Zerglings from Nerchio. Going through the south side, going to come in and just going to be starting to work their way through this hatchery. So hatchery is going to fall. Nerchio going to be denying Snute his 4th base here, but again, +1 roaches now, and Snute has a lot of them. The 15 worker lead as well, the income obviously Snute's favour for quite some time now, and the army supply will start to really jump up further and further into Snute's favour as well. It's actually a really good graph to indicate how this game went. The big all in from Nerchio. Snute knows about it though and just drones a bit more and then defends. Defends well, effectively. Nerchio has a bit more again, but Snute again defends his advantage and a bit more economy kicking in around the end. And now he is starting to run away with the game, so great explanation there. Sorry, not great explanation, not trying to brag. Great way to just, great example in the graph of kind of how this defense goes basically and how that game plays out. Obviously the income is, can be tagged in with that as well. Nerchio, they have a lead early, but then he cuts the income and Snute drones until the point basically where, he gets that, he drones here, and so he gets the larger income here, which is just a little bit further along. So I love these graphs, by the way. They're super cool to look at. Anyways, pushing forward with the +1 advantage. Snute is going to be starting to look for the fight in, which he's been won for a while. Bigling counterattack, and Snute will have to start pulling roaches together to deal with that. At the same time, he can just push in and take this fight as well, and he should be able to clean up and at least do the same amount of counter damage which Nerchio's doing, if not more, honestly. He's actually Nerchio not doing very much at all here. He's trying to work his way through this Queen, but not very quickly at all. And again, Snute continuing to fight at the front. +1 upgrade in his favour. Roaches on Ravagers. Again, Snute just looking way too good right now here in game number 2. couple of Ravagers on the way up again. Roaches from Snute coming through the center. Just reinforcing this, going to be playing it slowly and safely, not going to throw away an advantage which he knows he has by just taking a very bad fight. So just going to be, again, being a little bit more cautious with regards to that. Nerchio take the chance to come in on just a little bit of Snute's army. Maybe it's just a bit segregated, but you can just see the sheer number of Snute's units. This is going to be way too much, and we're just going to be seeing, obviously, way too many Ravagers for Snute as well. That wasn't the right words at all. Just way too many uses for Snute. And the upgrade as well, obviously, coming into play. It's not just going to be a +1 upgrade soon, it's about to be +2. And that's going to be a huge upgrade lead to work with. Arguably an upgrade lead that I don't really know if Nerchio can fight against in any way, shape, or form, actually. Isn't it funny that the longest games of the entire day are turning out to be the ZvZs? Some really cool macro. Obviously this one was a bit more lonely, but the last game was really cool macro. Still getting to see kind of a bit more of the middle of the map being used here. Is going to be seeing Snute pushing forwards. Got the Roach going down. And well, Nerchio taps out. Snute knows very much, so he's got this. We'll take that as a sign to go into game number 3. Top right hand side, our blue Zerg player from Team Liquid, opening the gas pool hatch rather than hatch pool gas. It is going to be Team Liquid Snute. And to the bottom left hand side, the red Zerg player from Euronix Gaming, Nerchio. So setting up in towards this, looking to see how things will go over the next few moments. Obviously Snute for the gas pool opening, looking to maybe be a bit more aggressive against the hatch first of Nerchio here. Defenders resort by Young Rustler. Our final map of the day. I can't believe we've done 18 maps in just 4 hours. It's been some speedy games today, and especially just speedy players, vetoing quickly, and all the rest of it as well obviously goes a long way to helping out. Remember guys, tomorrow is our final group stage day. Beyond Solar, Sue and, Beyond Solar, Haas and Cyril going head to head, and Cyril is going to be playing from Korea, so we're actually going to get to play everything on the Korean server, which means no lag or anything like that. Could be interesting. One map, by the way. One map to see which of these players goes to the round of 8 alongside Nerchio. Scarlet came out of her group in 2nd place yesterday over TY. If you didn't watch those games, I highly suggest you do. Let's see if Snute can advance through in 2nd place. So it'll be Nerchio, another foreign Zerg, to move out the groups in 2nd. Guaranteed 2 Koreans out of Group A, by the way. Again, those tiebreakers, if you haven't heard, will be on Wednesday at 6:30 PM KST, which is like 11:30 AM CEST. It's basically an hour and a half before our usual Team Liquid map contest tournament broadcasts, and it will just be taking place before the quarterfinals take place. Bane Nest on the way up, a few Zerglings as well gathering together right now. Snute not going to get very aggressive. Only 17 workers for himself at the moment. He did sneak the first few around. The rest of them, I guess he'll just hide in his mineral line. Or is he going to send him across? Might just send him across. He's going to hold them back in the natural. There's actually a couple of lings of Nerchio starting to move forwards here. Nerchio throwing down his own Bane Nest as well. Snute about to hit that ling of speed. He's morphing in Banes across the map, and here we go. Nerchio doesn't see this. Nerchio doesn't see this at all. He's got absolutely no idea it's coming. He is making a few lings of his own. Now he covers that little area. He sees a couple lings of Snute coming out with that speed. But here we go. The Bane's already here. Nerchio's Bane Nest is only just about to finish, and Snute is going to hit, well, maybe into the mineral line already. He's going to get maybe a couple drones low. He doesn't really know where to go, it seems, to help out for the best with this low health Baneling. Uses one there to help get rid of that Queen as Snute breaking on the through. 6 workers going down already. This Queen to the top side, taking some more damage as well. More Bane still here from Snute to help him out continuing this, but he's already done good damage. Obviously one of the big issues for Nerchio is he loses a lot of his production potential. Having lost the Queens really puts him in this position where he isn't going to have as many injects, and that can be huge. Nerchio going to counter though, and Snute doesn't immediately have anything to counter-attack with. So that hasn't done too much damage either. Now we're going to see some Banes going to start making their way through into this mineral line properly, and that's going to be when these lings... Oh no! Nerchio loses 15 workers then. The counter-attack from Nerchio getting shut down, so Snute looking as though he's going to do enough here to take game number 3 and to wrap up this series. Nerchio taps out. Snute takes it with an aggressive play on Defender's Resort to wrap up the day.